Hey everyone, I am going to react to this video of the inception of Black Lives Matter. And I think in their inception of what they created, it made perfect sense, right? Because at one point, it seemed like there was some injustice was going on. And if you didn't do your research, you would think that this is all bad. But I'm gonna let this video play, right? But I want you guys to just take note and pay attention, because the numbers they're going to give you in a country of 330 million people, they're showing you that 1,093 people died at the hands of the police department, right? And if you run the numbers and the statistics, you see that that's not a lot. However, one life too many is a lot. So let's not take that away from the people that got hurt behind this. Let's not take that away from them. I'm concentrating on Black Lives Matter, because what I've watched that these people have done, they started out a movement that was supposed to be positive, right? Because they got white people and black people involved in this. But here go my issue with these people. I'm gonna make my comments after I let some of this video play, and then we'll get back to what I'm talking about. But let's listen to this video and watch this video.
Their names define a movement. Their deaths a rallying cry for justice. The killing of George Floyd has protesters demanding change, led by Black Lives Matter once again.
It's time for us to stand up in George's name and say, get your knee off our necks.
The Black Lives Matter group has been fighting to be heard since 2013, and the phrase itself is now being seen on streets and screens all over the world. But how did the movement get here? How did it begin? Their message comes from an urgent need to tackle police brutality, and the statistics are stark. Police killed more than 1,000 people in America in 2019. Black people are currently 3 times more likely to be killed by police, and 99% of killings by a police officer between 2013 to 2019 have not resulted in criminal charges. But the Black Lives Matter bubble didn't actually start with police brutality. It began after the death of Trayvon Martin at the hands of an armed vigilante.
It is a story that no one can stop talking about, the shooting of Trayvon Martin.
On a February evening in 2012 in Sanford, Florida, Neighborhood Watch volunteer George Zimmerman called the police to report a suspicious person.
This guy looks like he's up to no good, or he's on drugs or something. It's raining and he's just walking around looking about.
Okay, and this guy, is he white, black, or Hispanic?
He looks black.
He's told not to approach the person in question.
Are you following him?
Yeah.
Okay, we don't need you to do that.
Zimmerman ignored the instructions and started following 17-year-old Trayvon Martin. Moments later, neighbors reported hearing gunfire.
There's gunshots.
You just heard gunshots?
Yes.
How many?
There's one.
Zimmerman accepted he shot Martin, claiming self-defense. He wasn't immediately charged. In fact, it took 44 days for him to be arrested, only after national media attention, a petition signed by more than 1 million people, and a public response from the then president.
If I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon. We're going to get to the bottom of exactly what happened.
A year later, Zimmerman was found not guilty of all charges by a jury of 6 women, 5 of them white. The acquittal caused outrage and sparked the birth of a new kind of civil rights movement.
Long before there was a Black Lives Matter movement, there was a movement for Black lives.
It comes as a great shock to discover that the country, which is your birthplace, and to which you owe your life and your identity, has not in its whole system of reality evolved any place for you.
BLM from its beginning was the continuation of a tradition and a remix of a much longer black freedom struggle, but it has its roots in the labor of black women
After Zimmerman's acquittal, activist Alicia Garza posted on Facebook, "Black people, I love you. I love us. Our lives matter. Black lives matter." Garza's friend Patrice Cullors shared the final 3 words as a hashtag. On the 7th of March 2013, Black Lives Matter was first seen on Twitter. Writer and immigrant rights activist Opal Tometi offered to build social media platforms for it, where activists could connect with one another.
With this hashtag, new conversations were being created online and ultimately in our everyday lives.
Black Lives Matter is our call to action. It is a tool to reimagine a world where Black people are free to exist, free to live. It is a tool for our allies to show up differently for us.
The movement gained popularity in the summer of 2014, with Eric Garner's last words now a rallying cry, "I can't breathe," caught on video. The incident went viral. In July 2014, on a street in New York's Staten Island, 43-year-old Garner was arrested on suspicion of illegally selling cigarettes.
I did nothing. We sitting here the whole time on our business.
He died in a confrontation with Officer Daniel Pantaleo after being placed in a chokehold. He was a father of 6. Pantaleo was fired 5 years later, but a state grand jury still refused to press criminal charges.
Black lives do not matter to this system. When you time and time again, you're seeing us being murdered, and time again, you're seeing the police go free.
Just 2 months after Eric Garner's death, another fatal shooting.
There is growing outrage tonight after an unarmed African-American teenager was shot and killed by police in the St. Louis suburb of Ferguson, Missouri.
18-year-old Michael Brown allegedly stole a pack of cigarillos from a corner store. Police officer Darren Wilson shot Brown after suspecting him of being involved in the robbery.
Police shot this man for no reason.
Brown was due to start college 2 days after he was killed. For weeks, hundreds of people who'd never taken part in organised protests before took to the streets. More tear gas, more rubber bullets, anger boiled over. Ferguson's governor called in the National Guard. Black Lives Matter was used on Twitter over 50,000 times a day. Despite the anger surrounding the case, Darren Wilson wasn't prosecuted. He resigned from the force and said he acted in self-defense.
Ferguson and Michael Brown Jr. will be a defining moment on how this country deals with policing.
After Ferguson, the Black Lives Matter movement took root and gained momentum as Black people continued to die at the hands of white police. It was a cycle of killings, protests, and no criminal charges.
No federal charges. No state criminal charges.
This was all happening with America's first Black president and Attorney General at the helm.
I chose to run for president at this moment in history because I believe deeply that we cannot solve the challenges of our time unless we solve them together.
Racial discrimination has been around since the founding of this country. To ask that the first Black president fix that is asking too much.
This is lawyer Roy Austin. He worked in the White House as Deputy Assistant to President Obama in the Office of Urban Affairs, Justice and Opportunity.
So I'm going to stop the video right there, right? Now, I want you guys, I'm not focusing on the people that lost their lives because one life too many is one life too many. But they're focusing on what the police officer has done, right? And they let you know this amount of people have been killed by the police, and they give you a specific time frame when this has happened. People and politicians and the media focus on, again, one life taken is one life too many. But what they're not focusing on, and where this movement, in my opinion, all lives matter, that's number one. But if we're going to minimize it to Black Lives Matter, why don't we see these people at these clinics stopping the unaliving of 300 to 900,000 children a year? Why we're not seeing that? Why are they not at these clinics protesting? Why are these politicians not protesting? We have religious leaders that should be telling people not to unalive babies that haven't got a chance to do anything in this world. We don't even know if these children could find the cure for certain disease that we have, but we unaliven them. We have women up here saying that the police don't care about black lives. Do you ladies care about black lives? Because you ladies are unaliving a lot of black lives. A lot. By the hundreds of thousands. Again, I'm not focusing on the people, the 1,098 people that got killed by police officers. Nobody should lose their life behind that. But again, we have to address an elephant in the room. The amount of our children being unalived by our people. The gangs, I don't see none of these Black Lives Matter people out there in the projects protested about the murdering of our own children by our own children. In New York a couple of days ago, there was a 7-month-old that the intended target was her father, but she got killed. We see some local politician and what's her name, Attorney General out there saying this is going to be taken care of. But where's the outrage that our young men are out there killing each other? Where's Black Lives Matter? They got $1 billion under the Biden administration, $1 billion. And they could have taken that money and opened up a lot of these social programs, trade schools, to give these young men a chance, right? A chance to better their lives. They could have bought an electrician, plumbers, carpenter, masonry to show them there is something better to do than this. But that's not what they did. They took the money and bought houses and cars. So it's funny how they're selective with certain things that they respond to, and then there are things that they don't respond to, unless it's a white person or a police officer. But as long as it's black on black crime, then black lives don't matter. It doesn't matter. You could unalive a whole bunch of babies, it doesn't matter. You could go into a project and kill another person, it doesn't matter. But as long as it's a cop or a white person, then it matters. And we have to get away from that, people, that we are being selective on what we protest, right? The media and the politician and these local religious leaders, right, are pushing this. And if we blindly follow them, then we are doomed. Because they're not addressing the problem. They're addressing the condition, but not the problem. And the problem is that we do not have enough things in the neighborhood, resources in the neighborhood, that every 4 years, some politician come and tell you they're going to give us. And then the religious leader back them up saying this is going to happen, and it never does. Because everybody go back to their cushy home and leave us to fend for ourselves. People, every life matters. Every life on this planet matters. But if we're going to minimize it to one culture, then we as a culture have to address what we have been doing in our community. We have been unaliving our newborns for generations. So it's funny how selectively we just remember this 1,098 people that were unalived by police officers. Where's the $1 billion that was spent to give to Black Lives Matter to correct this? Let's address that, people. Let's address that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. I'm going to make more videos like this because I think everybody should be called out. Let me know in the comments. Where is this? The document could not be opened. This file isn't what happened to the shit that I've been recording?